Hello there, fellow armchair Imagineers.
Hello there,
Bluedragonfive here.
and Jacob Wile too.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we find ourselves in the midst of Disney's big venture into the world of streaming, having started a war in the process, we thought it'd be nice to stay up to date on the ever growing catalog and rule on what's a must or a bust on Disney Plus.
And tonight, we take a plunge into the Inquisitorious to bring you Obi-Wan Kenobi, Part 4.
Yeah.
So, Dragon, how's it live up so far?
I gotta tell you, I thought this one was fine. I don't think it's as good as definitely was not as good as last week's, and I think it's kind of hit a bit of a lull. Like this is one of the episodes that had good stuff in it at certain points. It had kind of peaks and valleys, and I feel the issue was this is very much kind of the plotty episode of our story in which okay, well we gotta save Leia. So basically that's kind of essentially what this episode is. Oh, we gotta save Leia. So basically we're kind of checking off the box. So, okay, we do this, do this, do this, and there's gonna be more story ahead. So it's one's a little bit. This is a little bit by the numbers, kind of going through the motions, but
It's like
you know,
you had to save Leia again.
yeah, exactly. So it's like okay, well they're kind of in a similar beat like again. And to be honest, I think I'm not saying this completely. It's obviously different circumstances, but I don't think it helps that we kind of did the whole infiltrating an Imperial base so much more awesomely in Mando season 2. I don't think it helps this episode that we already did that. With the whole like you literally like he's gonna take the helmet off so reluctantly, and the whole like the Tarantino kind of vibe of the whole thing. It's like I think that's kind of hard. That's hard to beat. And as we're doing it again now, again we do like an OG, like we have Obi-Wan Kenobi himself doing it, which is cool. But there's only so much you can reinvent that wheel.
Well, whereas Mando went by the air, Obi-Wan goes by the water.
Yeah, that's the thing. The big difference. The reason it's not exactly the same thing is that we do have a really interesting base to work with here, which is cool.
And his is more like, and Mando's is more like Empire
Yeah,
remnants. Whereas obviously Obi-Wan's like going into the heart of the Inquisitors.
yeah. So again, clearly there are differences. It's just I'm just saying it's kind of like I hope just knowing that we're going to get that Andor show, which is going to be all about this, going to be filled with all kinds of stuff like this. It just feels like, man, I wonder if it's going to get old at a certain point. Like, because again, right now we have like we have really two, as you said, we have two really good takes on it. Which like, okay, so we got we have the kind of the Empire on its last days, just kind of like remnants, and we have kind of Empire in its heyday via the Inquisitors, which you have not really seen before. And then it's like, okay, well, it's just going to be again pretty much like the Death Star, but lamer. With Andor, if we do it again, or we just keep watering it down, essentially.
Well, Andor takes place before Rogue One, so we'll see how that turns out.
Exactly. So, it's like, how many times can we try and rebuild that wheel? I guess.
Well, who knows? Some good stories are worth retelling.
That's true. So yeah, it's kind of how I feel on this one. What say you?
I mean, I'll definitely say it's probably like the weakest of the episodes so far. I mean, not to say it's a bad episode by any means, but so I think like obviously like the wide open vistas and scope of the first episode. The Honestly, like the going to Dayu and all the set pieces and story of that episode. Obviously, the last episode had Vader versus Obi-Wan, so that kind of helped. so, like, I think this is probably like maybe the weakest episode by comparison, but still, I mean, at least let's just say each episode is like trying to do something different on a different location. I can give it that much. It's like it is jumping around and maintains a good pace, and it's at least it's not at least it's rarely ever boring. That much I can say.
Okay, we have Atomic Beast in the comments saying hello to us. Hello there.
Hello there. I mean, I always have to put it in the description.
True, true.
I mean, it's obligatory. Like, they'd be honest if we didn't put it in there.
Yeah, yeah.
So, hello
All
there,
right.
Atomic. Hello there, Atomic Beast.
Don Beast, feel free to shout out anything you want us to talk about, or like any points you want us to start with, because right now we're probably going to go through like a Scotia linear at least. We're going to start with the back to tank thing. So I love the back to tank opening. What about you?
Oh, yeah, Atomic Beast has basically been here for each one of our recaps. So,
I believe so, yeah. Which we're lucky to have them.
yep. So, thank you for your continued support of the channel, Atomic Beast.
Yes.
But yeah, it was kind of interesting to see Obi-Wan in the back to tank, like, and basically going through another kind of PTSD episode almost.
I mean, what I really loved about it is, I believe, if I'm recalling, Jake, correct me if I'm. Deborah Chow's directing all of these, right? Because so far I've seen her name pop up a lot, and I think she's like heavily involved in the
Yeah,
show.
she's directing every single episode.
I
Yes,
think is she show running it too? You think?
she's I don't think she is. She's one of the executive producers.
Okay, well,
I mean, I don't think she's written anything.
okay.
Joe,
Well,
from what I understand, like Joby Harold is someone named Joby Harold is the main writer.
regardless, she's directing all of them, so there's definitely kind of like a really cool. I think she's got a really good. Deborah has always had a really good style to her as well. I mean, she directed some episodes of Mando, did an episode of Better Call Saul.
And you said Mr. Robot as well.
Yeah, Mr. Robot as well. I forget if she did the Wonder episode or not. Of Mr. Base. Mr. Robot has this really impressive episode, and it's I think it's last season where essentially they're breaking into like the big building in the show, basically the big center point of the show, and essentially it's like done, I believe, from start to finish as like a oneer with one of the characters, which is quite impressive. I think it's a historical benchmark of sorts because the Marvel Netflix stuff has usually like these standout oneer sequences, but this is like the anyway. Point being, with her style in this one, I really liked is that we're kind of how we kind of paralleled Obi-Wan and Anakin as we were building up to them last episode. We kind of do that here, in that Obi-Wan is getting kind of an empathetic look at what Vader was put through with, he got burned the last episode in that awesome revenge moment. And now he's kind of getting a taste of what Vader's day in, day out's like, where he has to wake up in that back to tank and thinking about all the horrific things that led him there.
Yep, to be Vader is suffering.
Yeah. So I love visually what they're doing with that opening, cutting between the two of them, and of course, there's always the possibility that perhaps they're kind of feeling each other with the Force there, just like they're kind of sensing each other in the back of things, and that's why he wants out. That's why he wakes up.
And if I remember correctly, you can actually see Anakin basically opening his eyes in there and like realizing that he's sensing Obi-Wan in the same position.
Yeah, assumedly, yeah, which is really cool.
And he's like, basically, it's like, how do you like it, old man?
Love it. So essentially, the rest of the episode, the episode's rather straightforward. That okay, so Obi-Wan gets out of the tank, and it's like, okay, well, we gotta save Leia again.
It's like, and we got an appearance from O'Shea Jackson Jr. in this episode.
Oh, did we?
Yes, Ice Cube's son, who basically looks just like him.
No, yeah. Now you mention, I do see the similarity. Here's I think I've seen his son in something else, but I just for the life of me can't think of it.
The only other thing I can think, I can only think of other. I mean, I haven't seen, I haven't seen one of them, but like I've seen him in Godzilla King of the Monsters, and he also played Ice Cube in Straight Outta Compton.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. He played his father. That's really cool. Yeah,
it's like he played his father in his own biopic.
Nice.
So yeah,
all right.
So it's like he's also in, like I said, the one I haven't seen Straight Outta Compton, but I saw him in. Which I mean, I really want to see that, by the way, but right. I have seen him in Godzilla King of the Monsters.
Right.
I believe he was in that.
Yeah. All right. So basically, we have little Leia. She's going the full Carrie Fisher, really kind of giving a real kind of going the full Carrie Fisher, very spirited as she's being interrogated by Reva.
It's like, and it's pretty honestly true that she really doesn't know much about where the path is located. I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, she knows she knows a little bit, but the little she knows, she's not giving up without quite a fight. And now I got to admit, some people brought this up, and I just feel maybe it's pertinent to mention it. So Reva's popularity numbers not doing so great. This episode did not do her any favors because it mainly seems that hey, she's not really good at her job. If she can't scare a little girl, because honestly, the machine did all the scare. Like one of the coolest things of the episode, they put little Leia in essentially the torture. I know it's not exactly the same thing, but roughly the little torture chamber not chamber, a little torture like what would you call it? Like a little
It's a torture chair.
yeah, like the torture chair, like kind of like basically the torture device that the Empire used on Han Solo, like the torture rack, maybe like a torture rack. I don't know.
That's fine. How about it's a torture device? It's like, remember how like last week we were talking about different ways that Vader could torture Obi-Wan?
Yeah, oh yeah. So
maybe he could have. Maybe that's one of the things he had in mind for it.
God. It would be just be like for months. It'd be like, so you getting a little tired of the little tired of that little chair you're sitting in, Obi-Wan, huh? Well, you gotta stay in there a little longer. I'm leaving. Peace out.
Oh god.
Check in with you in 3 years.
Atomic Beast has something to say. I wonder if Vader knew that Leia was his daughter. Would Reva survive when she tries to torture her and let her go off with Kenobi?
I'm pretty sure Vader. Vader. I know Atomi's probably not saying this, but yeah, Vader definitely does not know that Leia is his daughter.
I think he's like bringing up the hypothetical that if Vader found out.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, he would. Yeah, he probably would kill her.
It's like, I mean, I know the Vader from Vader and Daughter probably would.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, man, he probably
it's like my daughter.
You're probably doing like kind of a more kind of happy-go-lucky way of like, no, Leia, go play with your brother, and then like, just like crush.
It's like, you did what to my daughter?
Daddy's got to work, kids. Go play with the Wookiee.
Oh god, all these hypotheticals are hilarious.
Anywho,
but yeah, it is. Speaking of like, I know we're kind of jumping around from that, but
well, I mentioned the torture device from Empire Strikes Back. It looks a lot like. I mean, you got that too, right? Does it look like the thing Han Solo was strapped to that Vader was torturing him with?
I mean, obviously it's not the same one because that one's in Cloud City, but
yeah,
it kind of did remind me of that.
A little reminiscent.
What I was saying, but I was like, you can like during the second interrogation where it's like, I love it like, hey, is this a staring contest? and then like it was like, it's like I'll tell you. About to run it by my dad first. You can tell that with like the way her like her Reva's face was, like her hand motions, everything. You could tell she was just like, "Now listen here, you little shit."
Exactly. So that's the question though. Do you think that perhaps like hurts that this Reva character's street cred, that she's being really like like basically she's not even scared of like putting an inch of fear into this girl. Like she's completely just like, I'm gonna mess with her.
It's like yeah, like basically, and then it's like she had to torture her. She had to put her in the torture chair to even get a reaction out of her.
Now, what's really cool, this is a really neat bit.
And Reva was like, even had the nerve to tell her, like, you brought this on yourself.
Yep.
It's like, no, she didn't, Reva. No, she
you just really stink at your job, Reva. You just couldn't get anything out of her. So, well, it's just torture.
Yep, just torture.
Yeah. Yeah, Grand Inquisitor, my foot. So that's the thing, though. What was really cool was how she was using the Force to do her thing, where she was going to kind of like try to read her mind using the Force, and Leia kind of demonstrates a little bit of Force sensitivity, being able to fight her off, kind of like Rey did in Force Awakens. Really neat.
I mean, it does kind of like giving her like a quote unquote early hint about being sensitive with the Force.
Exactly. Yeah, I thought that was really cool. So, with the infiltration itself, Tala coming in handy, kind of owning the scene. She walks in there and kind of chews that one guy out for checking her credentials.
It's like basically like, I outrank you when you have the nerve to question me.
Yep, it's you know what classified means.
And then he's like, proceed.
It's really funny. You will call me sir.
Like yes, sir.
Like, call me sir like Marcy, darn it.
Marcy?
Yeah, from Peanuts.
Oh, right.
Like, yes, sir, coming, sir. Here are the eggs, sir. And anyway.
Oh yeah, Marcy.
Yeah, Marcy. Anywho,
you mean like Marcy with Peppermint Patty, right?
Yeah, Marcy and Peppermint Patty, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, that's like when you just bring a Marcy out of nowhere. It's just like, wait, what?
I'm saying we think, like Marcy and Sir. It's usually like that's fine though. Okay.
I mean, I haven't read Peanuts in a long time or seen the movie, so it's on Disney. It's on Disney Plus now, so I can watch it anytime I want.
Right. Well, not wait.
Yeah, the Peanuts movie's on Disney Plus.
Are you right now? Really?
Yeah, it was made by Fox.
Well, that's true, but I'm saying like they kind of sometimes they kind of drill like you get on there. Like, when's the last time you saw it?
I mean, when it first came out, when it first premiered, I guess, but I think I think it's still on there. They haven't announced nothing's announced its departure.
Okay, that's the thing. I mean, okay, that's
Let's
cool.
see.
Anyway,
Let's see. Hold on. Peanuts. Maybe it isn't on there anymore.
that's what I'm saying. That's the thing with it. I think you're right that it was there. I just don't think it's there now. But anywho,
What do you know?
yep, stymied again by Disney Plus axing things and bringing them back, and vice versa, and just on and
It's
on.
typing the Peanuts movie. I got Mermaid Live, Disney Plus special, Pickle and Peanut, Riley's First Date, Alvin and the Chipmunks, both of them, and James and the Giant Peach.
Okay, I think we're getting a little sidetracked here. Let's bring it back to Star Wars.
Sorry.
So Tala again. Tala, she does this really cool thing where she basically
She guides Obi-Wan through the base.
yeah, she guides over. She's basically Obi-Wan's guy in the chair, or kind of imperial officer in the chair, what have you, whatever. She's
the woman in the chair.
yeah, she's the lady in the chair,
Yes.
lady in the hat in the chair.
Yes.
So the big thing though, she does a really brave thing where she basically she helps save Leia by basically right before she's about to be tortured by the thing. She pulls off the distraction. She's going to go face to face with Reva and basically kind of really boldly basically outs the mission, basically outs herself, saying like, oh yeah, I did help him. I helped him escape for the grand scheme of things, so we can find where they're all going.
Like, so she technically was trying to tell a half truth there.
Which again, with the human lie detector, who's still not really good at her job, but the human lie detector that is Reva, the worst one is she's all about finding people lying to her, and that's the only course you really have to. You can't lie to her because it's not going to work.
So she told a half truth.
Precisely. So speaking of which,
technically she was a spy, but she was spinning it as a spy for the Empire's sake, which is clever. Which was a pretty clever way to hide her truth, even though it didn't last for very long.
Yeah.
So yeah. But then around that time, though, isn't that when right after Obi-Wan discovers basically the Amber Room?
Yeah. So we, I guess, overall, let's build to that for a second, if you don't mind. Let's talk to one of the great parts of the episode, stealth Obi-Wan, man. Obi-Wan, kind of these stealth takedowns. He swims into the place, and he's like, I love the little incorporation. I like how we incorporate the water in this episode too. By the way, he's swimming through the entrance, and then obviously his big moment where he cracks basically floods like the chamber, the hallway.
Yeah. Oh, we have something from Atomic Beast.
Oh, what does he got?
My theory is that if Sidious's your anger killed Padme wasn't truly a lie. But Anakin was turning into Vader. Anakin agreed with Sidious to use Sith alchemy to save his own life. However, the price is similar to Infinity War, which must give up a soul for a soul, something that is equal of value to the person. Anakin did kill Padme by accidentally using Force Drain on her, and Anakin might be trying to reverse what he had done by sacrificing Jedi.
Huh. So that's an interesting. That's an interesting thing because basically, if you look at Sith, it looks like he does the Force choke on her. But if you look at that as okay, he's doing the life thing. I don't know.
However, that's not going to work because he has no attachment to anything except Obi-Wan and Ahsoka. The reason why Vader liked Kenobi because he was a sacrifice in to bring Padme back.
Ah, okay. So basically, Watanabe is actually laying out a really interesting theory here that perhaps he's fine. Maybe Vader, Sidious held up. Basically, I think what Watanabe is saying, correct me if I'm wrong, Watanabe, is that perhaps Sidious has, the Emperor, has held up his end of the bargain and taught him the secret. And that secret is okay, you're going to need, basically you need Obi-Wan to bring Padme back.
Maybe.
Sidious probably lying to him, mind you, but maybe that's the idea.
Yeah.
That's an interesting theory. I mean, it could be cool. I mean, I can imagine that going down in dialogue, but we'll have to see. I wouldn't bet all the chips in the house on it. I don't know.
So we have stealth Obi-Wan hiding from stormtroopers and the droid and the secret droid.
Love how he takes him out. Also, how great we didn't really mention it last episode, but the probe droids that we use them here too. The probe droids look great, don't they? Look great in terms of the effect and everything.
Yep, I mean they kind of like look the same as they did in Empire.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, but it's just the fact like Empire, they were like models like from well, not sometimes models let me see. I think it was one shot with stop motion, then you had basically the thing from a disc jig you shot at, and it's like kind of like a plywood sort of thing. So I'm just saying like this, the fact they recreate and actually does stuff, it looks really impressive to me.
Yep, I doubt it's like an actual droid, or maybe it is like an actual puppet. Like
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like the fact that like before they never did it as like a legit puppet, or like it was just kind of like a, well, you know what I mean. Like they didn't
I
do like
mean,
a yeah.
either that or it's just very good CG.
I mean, it could. You're right. It could be. It could be. I think it's impressive enough that to me it looks
I,
real. It looks
I
like it
mean,
could be.
heck, if they're able, I know they can't build a levitating droid, so that's what like that. So I'm just saying maybe it's like maybe they build like a droid, like build like a prop or something, and they just operate as like a puppet. Yeah, because heck, they're able to build a working BB-8s.
Yeah, I mean the coolest thing for me about the probe droid now that I see, because I keep thinking of the Star Tours update. You know, like the new Star Tours with the randomizer and everything built in there. Were essentially, hey, you are the rebel spy. You know, it's scanning the audience for the rebel. Like last episode, that was the biggest thing I was thinking in my head. Oh, he's the rebel spy. It's just like that's like the ride. Oh, you know, it's scanning his face and putting them together.
Yeah.
Anyway, just kind of a cutesy thing for me. I was watching the episode that occurred to me. Oh, that's so delightful. But yeah, but seriously, I mean, Obi-Wan just got sprinting action. You're like, I like how we shoot in like darkness when he saves Leia. Like you see like the lightsaber come out and just like the stormtroopers in complete pitch blackness. And it's like, oh god, just took him out. Bam, that's great use of lighting. Yeah.
So basically, the stormtroopers like, yeah, they're like, there's no escape, and it's like, yeah, for you.
They were only a few days away from retirement.
Yeah, like he brought a blaster to a lightsaber fight.
Precisely. So yeah, the Amber.
Usually, like I said, usually it's not a good idea to bring a knife to a gunfight, but in that case, it's like it's a better idea to have the sword.
Yeah. All right. So on his way to save Leia, he happens by the Amber tomb or the Amber trophy room, what have you. So basically, we have this. Yep.
I don't know if it's actually amber. I was just remembering. I just did something out of Jurassic Park almost.
Well, essentially, we have like the Jedi tomb at the very least. And the Jedi tomb has like basically in this amber-looking substance, the Jedi's dead bodies are presumably dead bodies are petrified in this amber-like substance in a room that is very Dexter New Blood-esque. I won't lie. It's ridiculously exactly like a huge plot point in Dexter New Blood, which is
it's almost
yeah.
Like it could almost essentially be he said it's a tomb, but it could also be considered like a morgue.
That's a thing. I'm thinking. I'm thinking. Assumably, they're dead, and their bodies are like kind of like demented trophies for the Inquisitors, which again is really thematic and like, yeah, that's the Inquisitors for. They would do that. It's like they're hunting, so it's like they're displaying their taxidermies essentially.
Their hunting trophy.
Yeah, exactly. So that's very on brand, and again, also very Dexter New Blood-esque with the killer in that season. I like Dexter New Blood, so I'm not knocking on his point. It's like ridiculously kind of hard to ignore if you've seen that. It's like, man, that is a lot like Dexter New Blood. It's cool though. I kind of wish. I mean, this is. I guess. Kind of the idea. I'm gonna guess because of course, I don't know about you, Jacob. I mean, I'm sure like a lot of people were probably looking for specific Jedi's from Clone Wars or something to be in the Amber, and some of them popped up. From what I understand, like one of the first guys, the kind of the vaguely goat-looking guy, is from Clone Wars. Now, for me, I was looking for Plo Koon, but then it dawned on me on the rewatch. Oh, wait a minute,
Plo Koon's not dead.
Well, two things. Plo Koon is, yes, and there's the hope that he's alive, but if you want to be all nitpicky, you could say it looks like he's pretty much getting killed in Revenge of the Sith. But again, there's always the wiggle room that maybe we didn't see the body fall. It was looking like he was going to get killed. Regardless, even if he was dead, let's just say he was, but let's again hope that he's alive because he could be really cool if he showed up in the Ahsoka show.
And even if he was dead, he wasn't by the Inquisitors.
That's my point. That's the thing that dawned on me. It's like, yeah, well, the Inquisitors didn't kill him, so he would not be like in this hunting gallery of sorts.
And also, since Vader's there, I don't think he killed him either. So. But speaking of Vader, there was a youngling in there.
Yep.
So yeah, the Inquisitors got a kid and killed him and put him on display.
Do you think they'd really keep him in the helmet though? I gotta admit, when I think about it, it's like, really, would they put the training helmet on him?
Who knows? Maybe they're just trying to preserve their last moments of terror and perpetuity.
That's a thing. I mean, the Inquisitors though, I don't think they were like that. Like the giant head things, that was like during like the ground level of like it's them training in the temple, like when Order 66 broke out. So I don't know. That's the thing that makes me wonder. I don't know if the Inquisitors killed that kid. Why would he be there? But I don't know.
I
Who
don't know.
knows?
Maybe he was just a random kid.
Yeah, it's possible. The
Who
Empire's
knows?
always killing kids left and right. They got a real problem. We should write them up.
Yeah.
So let's see. So again, we have like the whole flooding the corridor thing, which is really neat. Then we have like kind of the awesome, the cavalry arrives moment. We just have these not necessarily rebel ships because the rebellion I don't think has started yet. I don't think.
I mean, this might be like the start of the fledgling rebellion.
I ain't quite positive. I remember, Jacob, did you take Enfys Nest in Solo to be the beginning of the rebellion, or you just think like just an offshoot of the rebellion?
Maybe like an offshoot because I don't think the rebellion started yet again. Because I think it was like a combination of that and from rebels, obviously. Like I said, I don't think we really know what the official impetus is. Like, okay, we are the Rebel Alliance was.
Right. Okay. So,
and obviously, since Leia's a major figurehead, maybe the events in this like help inspire her to start it.
well, most assuredly, yeah. So let's see. Anyways, the point being, we have these guys coming in what looks like kind of like this like the snow speeder from, or at least a snow speeder esque kind of design for the vehicles.
It's basically like snow speeders before they were the snow speeders.
Yeah, sure. So like they're swooping in, they're saving the day, they're blasting the heck out of stormtroopers, which is a lot of fun.
Yep. Like kind of cathartic.
Yeah. Anyway, so they get away, leave Riva in the dust, it would seem, and then I love the cut here. Go on, what do you got?
Well, not to mention the fact that she gets weighed.
She gets what?
She gets weighed.
Oh yeah, she kills the one pilot named Wade. Yes, and like throws like an explosive like crate at him. Yeah.
We hardly knew you, Wade. Literally, you're only on screen for like 2 minutes.
Like Wade, oh, he must be important to me. Unless it looks like Ryan Reynolds, I don't really care. But yes.
I mean, it is sad, but and clearly his friend was. She's obviously sad that he's gone, but we only knew him if he was barely on screen for 2 minutes. Only had like 3 lines, so.
Yep, pretty much.
Maybe it's his death that sparks the beginnings. Who knows? Especially, well, it did spark a good line from Talos, like, "You are soldiers now."
Yeah. So, what I love the edit from just we have this great money shot of Riva standing there seemingly despondent, and it's like, oh, they got away. It's a really good money shot, and then over that you hear the breathing of Vader, and we just cut to him like walking in like full tilt, like he's upset. Walking down that hallway, instantly enters the room, force chokes her.
Like, I told you what your failure would bring.
Oh, that's great.
Even after she reveals the fact that she put a tracker on them, he's basically when he lets her go, it's like if you fail me again, you won't have a trachea left. Basically.
Yeah. Well, also I love he did kind of give her props for a brief moment, saying, "It seems I underestimated you, but fail again," and yada yada yada. But I was always like, "You were warned what failure would bring or what defeat would bring."
But essentially, it's like after she like said one more, she said something, and he like basically walked up to her and stared her down, and basically like laid down the law to her. Yeah. Basically like fail me again, and you basically saying he basically telling like, and you will die. Like, and probably not a pleasant death either.
Oh no, surely no.
It's like, he'll probably do to her what he had planned for Obi-Wan. Like, who knows?
Yeah. So it's a big thing. So she's put a tracker on Lola, Leia's little kind of pocket-sized droid.
Yeah, and Lola's eyes are glowing red now.
Yep. So that's going to lead them. So basically, that kind of confirms. Oh, for sure, going to have another confrontation.
Yeah, that's we'll definitely see how that pans out. If whether or not Leia realizes something's wrong with Lola. So
Yeah.
I mean Lola's eyes are or eye visor was the whatever that is. The lens is a different color. You get what I'm saying? The eyes or whatever.
No, yeah, I get it. I'm sure you're going to catch on probably very soon. Next episode, it's going to be too late by then.
Yep. I hope Lola survives.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Well, we don't see her in the original trilogy, so doesn't bode well.
Yeah, but it's also like maybe she grew out of that droid and she upgraded R2D2.
Yeah.
Because remember, R2 was with Leia at the top of Star Wars.
Oh yeah, I remember. It's like she's the one who gave them. She's the. I mean, he stored. That's where she stored the message to Obi-Wan in the first place.
Exactly. Let me ask you this: do you think we end this show with Lola? Lola's destroyed and she gets R2 as her new little playmate, thanks to like her Papa Organa. You think it's sweetie, I'm so sorry, but hey, here's my new friend. Here's my friend R2D2, huh?
because yeah, at the end of Revenge of the Sith, he was there, and we already saw 3PO.
That's the thing. I mean, they're hanging out with Organa, Senator Organa right now. So it makes sense that basically Leia's just accompanied by those guys, but the bare minimum R2D2.
Yeah, we already saw 3PO there. Anthony Daniels, by the way, returned for him, so it's nice to have him back. So it's like it wouldn't be too out of left field to see R2 there.
It's been a while since we've seen Anthony Daniels. I miss him.
Well, he was last in Rogue One, I believe, and he was in Rogue One and the sequel trilogy, and I think he's in like all the sequels, and I think and he reprised his roles for like all the TV shows and stuff.
Well, no, I get that, but I mean, all the TV shows, unless stealthily inserted in the stuff, like since we've been getting Mando and Boba Fett and that sort of, he hasn't been in any of those, to my knowledge. I mean, I could be wrong. I mean, they sneaked him in there.
He hasn't been in Mando or Boba, but
that's what I mean. Like I'm saying, it's been a while since consistently he's been in everything, either as C-3PO or like kind of another little cameo role, like something. But
Yep. Yeah. I mean, they are one to give cameos to other people. I mean, like they gave Tamara Morrison a cameo in episode 2. So
yeah, which was great.
He actually played a clone again.
Yeah. It does bode well for the Ahsoka show that, he's going to be back as Captain Rex.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I can't wait for Bad Batch to come back.
Yeah, I mean, that's. Do you remember the date on that?
I don't think so.
Okay, yeah, because I forget. I think it's like later this month, but maybe it's like, I don't know, because they keep advertising. I hate it when Disney Plus, they keep throwing like the banner up there like, hey, I can watch it now. No, coming soon. Like, oh.
Bad Batch Season 2. September.
September.
Yes.
Oh, well. All right. Well, there you go.
Good show, too.
Yeah. I do hear Doctor Strange 2 is coming this month, which is crazy to me.
Yep. No, well, barely. Only a month after it just came out in theaters.
It's insane the world we're living in now where that happens, but yeah.
Well, I mean, it's already made its money back, so it's not like they're going to lose anything by bringing it.
I know. I'm just saying, like, with everything that's going on, is the fact that it's all changed so radically. Like now, like the theater to home video window is shrunk tremendously, and the fact like movies aren't grossing as much as they used to, and like the whole, I don't know, it's weird, but it's what it is. So. I think that's about it. I think we've talked through everything. Can you think of anything major we're missing, or?
Well, I mean, we talked about all the cool things. It's kind of funny that this episode itself is kind of shorter than our previous episodes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not really this episode's not really super deep. It just has kind of like some cool moments, and then it's kind of done.
It has some neat plot elements, but we already discussed like the implications of what those would be. Maybe we could go into some speculation or just. Talk about more ways for Darth Vader to torture Obi-Wan.
Oh, no, let's not do the torture thing again. But I mean, in terms of speculation, we had 2 episodes left. We got 5 and 6. Now, the pattern would indicate that the penultimate episode will be the most impressive, but hopefully they're going to be able to kind of land the ending, because you'd imagine, the bare minimum, the ending has to like shift things to Luke. The last episode, at least, it's probably going to be. I'll bet you what's going to happen. Very ending will be like, hey, and now the boy.
Yeah.
Or something like, okay, Obi-Wan's going to be watching over the boy. Now, again, we do have Qui-Gon still. So, again, if we're just like, let's just take a moment here to track Obi-Wan's character progression. So, Obi-Wan, okay, so he had the big shock in episode 3, and he's kind of like grappling with it, which we kind of touched on with Tala here, just like saying, I'm sure you'll get through it or something along those lines. So that brings us to 5 is probably going to end on like, Vader. He's about to go up against Vader, and 6 would possibly be that. So I'm thinking maybe 5 is when we pull out the Qui-Gon Jinn of it all. Possibly, I'm hoping for that, but I'm saying the Qui-Gon's got to come in within one of these 2 episodes. So basically, that'll be his way of finding himself, so he can take on Vader, and it'll be kind of an epic showdown, I'm sure. In which none of them will die, but perhaps he'll try, a la Qui-Gon to redeem or like kind of try to reach him one last time.
I'm just wondering if hopefully they do get Liam Neeson back for this.
Oh, I'm sure they'll get him back.
Hey, who knows? Maybe he said he'd only return for a movie, but maybe that's just what I said, like, oh, it's like I can't either confirm or deny I'm in this.
That's the thing. I'm pretty sure it's that. I mean, worst case, it might be a voice cameo, but I'd like to assume he's gonna be, and he was just downplaying it for the press.
I mean, Paul, he legally would have to.
Mm-hmm.
So, we'll see. It's like maybe like I said, remember we've had these. We're in the age now where people like can say they're not in something, and they'd be like, "Oh, that definitely means he's in it," and then they turn out to not to be in it after all.
Yeah.
I mean, look, everybody assumed that Ryan Reynolds was going to be Deadpool and Doctor Strange, and he said "Oh, I'm not going to be in there." It's like, oh, we get it. Like Deadpool's not going to be in it, but you're just going to be in there. But then now he just turned out not to be in there at all.
See, I still thought that was Hugh Jackman, for all the Deadpool 3 and 2 and 3 speculation of Hugh Jackman's not going to be in it, but no. Wolverine's not going to be in it, but Hugh Jackman will be. It'll just be Deadpool mocking the fact of, hey, Wolvie, I'm sorry, mate, who you going on about? Who you think I look like? It's just it's no. It's just oh, you're totally Wolverine. See, kids, I got Wolverine in the movie. It's no, it's not. It's totally him. I'm not him. It's a role that I played. Anyway.
So it's entirely possible that maybe Liam Neeson really isn't coming back for this.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm just saying, given they put a lot of emphasis on the unfinished business of Qui-Gon Jinn, so he's got to give Obi-Wan some guidance. He's got to give him help him get out of his funk with Vader. We got to bring in Qui-Gon, man. That's what I'm thinking. I think it's gonna be a big miss out. Darth Maul's one thing, because we already kind of tell his story other places, but the Qui-Gon Jinn thing was a big thing that we teed up at the end of Revenge of the Sith, and we kind of we're seeing Obi-Wan kind of feeling the loss of at the top here. I think that'll be a big make or break thing for this show. If we don't pay off Qui-Gon, it's going to be kind of a character arc thing that could be a problem potentially. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to bring Maul in this late into the game.
Yeah.
Without referencing him. I mean, most they referenced him so far was that he was responsible for Qui-Gon's death.
Yeah.
It's fun fact about next week's episode: Andrew Stanton is one of the writers.
Don't kid me now. Is this true?
Yes. It's the Andrew Stanton from Pixar.
Oh, I know. I love Andrew Stanton. So you're telling me he wrote episode 5?
Well, he co-wrote it with Joby Harold, but yes, and he also wrote the finale.
So Stanton's involved in both?
Yes, both episode 4 and 6. If you notice, he was listed as a consultant in the first episode.
Oh, I didn't notice. Oh my God, this is amazing. Oh, I can't wait.
I mean, I'm not saying that'll be indicative of its quality, but
no, I'm saying the whole co-writer thing. Yeah, it could blow up in our face, but who knows? But I'm just saying though, it's a good omen.
I mean, keep in mind he did direct a couple of episodes of Stranger Things as well.
So. And Better Call Saul. He directed an episode of Better Call Saul. But that's the thing though. I was dying for him to write an episode because I love Andrew Stanton's writing. I love his directing too, but I'm saying his writing especially. So I would.
Didn't he write the episode of Stranger Things, or am I mistaken?
I don't believe he did. I mean, it could. I think he just direct. I think he's only been directing in live action. I don't think he's been writing it.
But yep, if he's writing the next episodes, the next 2 episodes of of Obi-Wan.
I believe Andrew Stanton's quite the Star Wars fan, so this should be. I don't know.
Uh,
Again, assuming how much control he has amidst like like the showrunners' ideas of like how it should go. So we'll. I mean, it's not going to be like a cure-all, but who knows? I mean, it could save it perhaps. It could. I'm saying if Andrew Stanton's in there, Andrew Stanton would be shocked if he didn't try to work in like a Qui-Gon Jinn payoff of some kind because I don't know. We'll see. I'm really excited for the next two. I was already looking forward to it, but now I'm really looking forward to them.
I guess I'm just trying not to get your hopes up too much, and
No. Sure, I'm just saying the fact that he's involved in some capacity. I mean, it's the fact that Stan hasn't really written any of the shows he's been working on before. So this is kind of cool.
yeah. So he's involved in the next two episodes at least.
Oh,
He did like he's at least as far as I can tell he's credited as the co-writer as a co-writer with Joe B. Harold for part 5 and part of the story and teleplay for part 6.
I'll tell you what's really the thing that's really kind of cool about this, though, is the fact that Stan's involved. Period, just in any aspect, is that I remember when they were looking for the new Star Wars director, my two go-tos were Brad Bird, who he was offered Episode 7, but he did Tomorrowland, and for me, the other one was Andrew Stanton. Because he breached into things a little bit with John Carter, and obviously Andrew Stanton he does indeed like sci-fi and like Star Wars. So he was always my second pick for like who should take on the Star Wars movie. I'm not saying it's going to like magically happen or anything. I'm just saying it's like the fact that this is kind of a gleam of what that was. That's really cool to me.
He's doing quite a bit of stuff outside of Pixar lately too.
Yeah, I mean, I think he gets around. He gets around the most. I think Brad Bird. He's just been. I don't. Brad Bird right now is working on his new animated movie, which sounds really cool. I just wish I knew what the animation style was going to be. I'm looking forward to it regardless. I just really want to know for my own curiosity.
Well, I mean, Brad Bird was never really a mainstay at Pixar anyway.
Well, I know that for sure. I'm just saying, like, Brad Bird. Either way, I love when Brad Bird does anything. Period. So I just really want to see him just do more in general, because see him kind of like do more features because he's really good at it.
Like he's working on 2 movies called Revolver and Captain and Chairman Spaceman. So I was like, I don't think those are anything to do with Pixar.
Wait, so those are Brad Bird's working on those?
No, it's like no Stanton.
Oh, Stanton. Wait, what's Stanton's things? Can you say them again?
They're called Revolver,
Mm-hmm.
and Chairman Spaceman.
Huh. Interesting.
As I said, and apparently that Chairman Spaceman's for Fox
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Searchlight.
Well, that explains why he's in the Disney camp right now. Go on.
Yep, and I have no idea what Revolver is going to be.
Interesting.
And apparently, and for television, apparently also did something for Legion, Tales from the Loop, For All Mankind, and see Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Oh yeah. So For All Mankind, that's the Apple Plus show about basically I believe it's what if the Russians beat us to space.
I was like, so he's quite busy outside of Pixar.
Yeah. Oh, for
and,
sure.
and he's still working at Pixar too, so he's keeping busy.
That is. I mean, again, I think honestly, if anything ever happened to Pete Docter, Andrew Stanton would be the guy to run the place. But
Yep.
But again, right now, I imagine ultimately why it went to Pete Docter is because Andrew Stanton is like interested in directing other things. I think ultimately that's why that happened.
I mean, Pete Docter's still directing stuff at Pixar. I mean, unless he doesn't direct anything after Soul.
Well, no, that's what I mean. Though. I mean, like I'm saying, Andrew Stanton's directing things outside of Pixar's, and he's going to a lot of different projects in which Pete Docter's all in house, or he's like doing the other stuff. So
I mean, he's still listed as like a senior creative team at Pixar, so I don't think Stan's leaving, like stopping at Pixar anytime soon.
no, of course not. I'm just saying, like, to take on the responsibility of like the chief creative officer, basically essentially run the whole animation division. That's probably going to take a lot. I don't think you'd be able to go outside the building, so to speak, as much.
And look at him; he's like doing all this stuff. He's obviously now helping with Obi-Wan, so.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. They do all that stuff. I don't think he would be able to kind of be the head honcho, like overseeing all the projects as well as anything he wants to direct. That's probably why. Sorry, we're kind of drifting off focus here, kids. But it's a scintillating conversation. But yeah,
sorry. I mean, sorry, we already kind of run the gambit on the episode. And
yeah, so that's
with this little tidbit I revealed to him, because kind of, especially with Lightyear coming out within next week.
Yeah. All right. Well, anyway, I think that's a good place to wrap it up, though.
Yep.
Well, I want to thank Atomic Beast for joining us yet again. Anyone who's going to be watching in the aftermath, and we hope to see you next week when we talk about episode 5.
Yes, part 5.
Yes, part 5. So,
Sure.
that'll do it for us this week as we holster our remotes till the next installment calls for the draw. Mano y mano, just Plus and Us.